Imagine holding the keys to 100 properties, managing millions in assets, directing a portfolio that touches every corner of the economy, and still sleeping like a monk. Not because of what you control, but because of what doesn't control you. We live in a time obsessed with ownership, domains, IP real estate, equity. But the Stoics saw ownership differently. To them, the question wasn't, what do you have? It was, what has you? And their answer, radical even today, was simple: use everything, attached to nothing. That isn't detachment for detachment's sake. It's the foundation of real freedom. Because the only wealth that doesn't enslave you is the kind you can walk away from. There's an ancient Roman legal concept called Usufruct. It means you can use something, profit from it, live in it, benefit from it, without owning it. The Stoics took this idea and made it metaphysical. Seneca, one of the richest men in Rome, lived among luxury, but warned against believing it belonged to him. "We are tenants," he wrote, "not owners. You might control the deed, but time owns the title. Fortune grants you the lease. Modern entrepreneurs talk about controlling assets, but control is always contingent. The market turns, a partner exits, a lawsuit hits. What then? If your peace is tethered to possession, you're always on edge. But if you can learn to use without clinging, you remain whole even when the holdings shift. That's not passivity, that's power. Entrepreneurs often conflate scale with self. You build the product, it gains traction. Now every hire, every new office, every logo tweak feels like a reflection of you. And slowly, the business stops being a vehicle and becomes a mirror. The Stoics would call this ego contamination. Marcus Aurelius, who ruled an empire, wrote in his journal, "You may leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." That wasn't morbidity, it was calibration. He knew that to scale something effectively, you have to be able to walk away from it emotionally, to own it without letting it own you. You can be fully invested, financially, operationally, energetically, and still unhooked from the outcome. That's the paradox. The Stoic founder builds boldly, but sleeps well because his identity isn't stored in the brand equity. It's stored in virtue. Here's the test. Take every asset you have, the house, the fund, the equity stake, the reputation. Now imagine it gone. Not through negligence, but through life. Market collapse, legal trouble, a simple accident. What's left? If the answer is panic, loss of identity, or collapse, you've mistaken possession for personhood. Seneca practiced a ritual to guard against this. He'd eat coarse bread, wear simple clothes, sleep on the floor, not as punishment, but as rehearsal. "Is this what I feared?" he'd ask. Not to suffer, but to remember. Comfort is a bonus, not a birthright. The modern version? A founder who takes the bus by choice. An investor who spends weekends unplugged. An executive who hands off control and watches calmly. Because they know. The use of a thing is not the same as needing it to be whole. You can own land without being owned by it. You can manage a fund without being absorbed by it. You can lead a company without becoming its prisoner. The Stoics believed that anything external, wealth, status, even relationships, must be held loosely. Firmly engaged, but never fused. Epictetus put it bluntly: when you kiss your child, say to yourself, you are kissing a mortal. That wasn't cold, it was clear. Applied to modern life. When you sign a deal, say to yourself, this too can change. When you win the award, remind yourself, the applause fades, not to dim the joy, but to prevent the addiction. The Stoic doesn't suppress celebration, he just never lets it define him. And that's the difference between a steward and a slave. To profit without possession isn't a contradiction, it's clarity. It means building boldly, scaling wisely, investing deeply, but holding everything with open hands. Because what you grip too tightly starts to grip you back. The Stoic founder knows this. He doesn't downplay ambition. He just refuses to sacrifice sovereignty. He scales systems, not self-worth. He builds assets, not identities. He practices ownership not as a form of ego, but as a discipline in detachment. So the next time you sign the deed, close the round, acquire the property. Ask yourself, am I free because of this? Or am I just more decorated in chains? The difference isn't in what you own, it's in how you carry it.